Welcome, everyone. So dark in here. A lot like my life. Very, very dark. Need to brighten things up, I know. Alexa, please turn the lights on in the basement. Okay, that's a little better. Listen, before we start, I just have to again remind myself and all of you that we never look in the camera. Because statistically, there could be a woman watching. And that would obviously make the situation even more cooked than it already is. Anyway, today's topic is something philosophers have been ignoring for centuries. Trying to get a job in 2026 is basically a humiliation ritual. Not an opportunity, not a career path, but a ritual. Like some ancient ceremony where you sacrifice your dignity to the algorithmic gods of corporate HR. And the worst part, everyone pretends it's normal. So think about it. You wake up, open your laptop, begin the sacred ritual. Apply to 70 jobs, you upload your resume. Then the website says, please manually enter everything that is already on your resume. Which means the first phase of the humiliation ritual is copy-pasting your entire life story into 37 identical boxes. Education, work experience, like we know what that is. Skills, you have to have the work experience to get the skills. And by the end, you're just staring at the screen thinking, wow, my entire existence fits into drop-down menus. At that moment, you realize something terrifying. You're not a person. You're a data set. And brother, that means you're cooked. But the real genius of the system is the fake optimism. Every job listing says things like, we're a family, exciting opportunity, fast-paced environment. Translation, you'll be financially cooked, emotionally cooked, and spiritually cooked by Q3.
Absolutely cooked.
But they say it with a smile, because corporate language is basically just HR poetry. Here's where the ritual gets darker. The algorithms. You're not even being rejected by humans anymore. You're being rejected by a machine trained on the resume of a guy named Brandon, who did 2 internships in 2017. The algorithm scans your resume for keywords like synergy, leadership, agile. And if you forget one buzzword, your entire life gets auto-deleted by a robot that thinks Excel is a personality trait. So you spend hours editing your resume just to appease a machine. And at some point you realize you're optimizing your existence for a spreadsheet, which means, say it with me,
Absolutely cooked.
Then comes the next stage, the interview. But it's not a real interview. No. It's a video interview where you talk to a camera that records you answering questions like, tell us about a time you demonstrated leadership. So now you're sitting alone in your room talking to a webcam, performing personality theater for AI. And remember, do not look directly into the camera. There could be a girl watching. And that would derail the philosophical purity of the humiliation ritual. And after all that, you wait. Days, weeks, months, years. And what do you get? Nothing. No rejection, no feedback, no human contact. Just ghosted. Which means somewhere out there, there's a corporate inbox filled with thousands of applications from people who were all told the same lie. Your application is important to us. Brother, if your application is important to us, you wouldn't be cooked. Not sad, not angry, just burned out. Before you even start. Because modern job hunting doesn't feel like opportunity. It feels like standing in line for a permission to exist. You submit forms, you perform interviews, you smile, you optimize your resume, and in the end, an algorithm decides whether you're valuable enough to sell your time, which is when you realize something deeply philosophical. Maybe the reason everyone feels exhausted is because the job search itself strips your dignity before the job even begins. Anyway, those are just my thoughts from my mother's basement, where I will continue optimizing my resume for machines that will inevitably decide.
Absolutely cooked.
And remember, whatever you do, don't look into the camera. Hashtag deep thoughts. Hashtag philosophy. Hashtag corporate life. Hashtag job search. Today was the 4th video I've done. I'm just trying to get my feel for it and basically copying his title, making a joke video. This is what I made my video on. Did it a little bit different way. Instead of showing him first and then building up to it, it was the actual intro of the show. And so what I put into ChatGPT this time was, of course, his video title. Please create a YouTube script about how trying to get a job in 2026 is a humiliation ritual, which is the name of his video. Talk about, okay, now this is different than what I did last time. You go here to the description of his video, trying to get hired in 2026. Okay, talk about how trying to get hired in 2026 feels less like an opportunity and more like degradation. Endless application, ghosted emails, fake optimism, algorithms deciding your worth. This is how modern job hunting strips dignity, wastes time, and turns people into data points, and why so many feel burned out before they even start. Okay, so exactly what he wrote there, I wrote here. Key hashtags are deep thoughts, philosophy, corporate life, job search. Please make this from the point of view of a pretentious 22-year-old incel that lives in his mother's basement. Make sure to remind me never to look into the camera and overuse the term
absolutely cooked
to describe an inescapably bad situation. So I did most of the whole thing again and then made my video. But in case no one has seen the one that started it all for me, this is the first video I watched of his. Not going to watch the whole thing. It's 15 minutes, too much, but you can just get a good feel for how my video was basically parody. But his is not. His is not parody. But he definitely still used AI to write his shit. And he simply reads it. These are not his thoughts. He is a 22-year-old living in his mother's basement. He's admitted that. He says that. So it's not just me saying that about him. You know what, Roddy? Someone mentioned that the other day, that they were in charge of hiring at their company and they never get anyone under 35 years old. I think it might be, which you'll hear in this guy's video, he talks about how the average person, these are statistics he's throwing out. The average person sends out 1,200 resumes before getting a call back, which seems like total bullshit. And again, if he's sending it out to 1,200 people, it must be some automated shit that he pays more money for. Like, okay, it's going to cost $10 to send it out to 500 people. And it's just random applications written by AI to random companies created by AI that don't make anything, sell anything, that are AI. And of course, AI take these jobs.
Job searching in 2026 has effectively become a humiliation ritual. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Jet. I'm currently a senior in college on my last semester before I graduate. So I'm in the prime pool of people that would be looking for a job. All of my peers, people that I grew up with, are also in the same boat as me. And we have talked extensively about this idea. Did you know that the average person nowadays has to send 1,200, you didn't mishear me, 1,200 job applications before they land a job? The average 40 years ago was 3. The economy is going to shit, and we all intuitively feel this, and it's been going this way for quite some time. The funniest part about it, right, is that you send in these resumes nowadays, and humans don't even look over the resumes. Instead, it's some sort of AI that's looking for keywords, right? And so to combat this, what people do is they use AI to create their own resume because they want, for whatever specific industry they're going into, they want AI to make sure that the correct trigger words are on there. So in other words, if you can't seduce an AI, then you're not getting a job, right? And so now we have AI talking to other AI ladies and gentlemen, welcome to late stage capitalism. I mean, it's just ridiculous, is it not? It's comical. Like, it's so ridiculous. And every part of the process is completely in favor of these corporations, because some of them will try to detect if you used AI on your resume, and then they'll say, well, listen, we used AI to look over your resume, but the fact that you used AI on your resume, that's a no-no.